Clu Gulager, actor in the Virginian, The Last Picture Show and Return of the Living Dead, dies at 93. The Oklahoma cowboy portrayed Billy the Kid as a nice guy in The Tall Man and was bumped off by Ronald Reagan in The Killers. Clu Gulager, the real-life cowboy from Oklahoma known for his turns on The Tall Man, The Virginian, The Last Picture Show and horror movies including The Return of the Living Dead, has died. He was 93. Gulager died Friday of natural causes at the Los Angeles home of his son John and daughter-in-law Diane, they told The Hollywood Reporter. Gulager also portrayed the protege of hitman Charlie Strom, Lee Marvine, taken out by a mob boss, Ronald Reagan, in Don Siegel's The Killers, 1964, a race car mechanic opposite Paul Newman in Winning, 1969, and a detective working alongside John Wayne's character in John Sturges' MCQ, 1974. More recently, he showed up on the big screen in such critical darlings as Tangerine, 2015, Blue Jay, 2016, and Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019. Gulager's performance in The Killers convinced Peter Bogdanovich to cast him as Abilene, the caddish oilfield foreman who made love to Ellen Burstyn's character and seduced Sybil Shepherd's J.C. Farrow in a deserted pool hall, in The Last Picture Show, 1971. Part Cherokee, the playful Gulager burst on the scene in September 1960 when he starred as Billy the Kid opposite Barry Sullivan as Pat Garrett in NBC's The Tall Man. 2 seasons later, the series was cancelled in part because Congress objected to the notorious outlaw Billy inaccurately being portrayed as a hero to young viewers. But they left The Untouchables on, which was very violent, Gulager noted in a 2015 interview. I played a character on that called Mad Dog Call, in 1959, where I shot a horse in a horse race, killed a little boy in Brooklyn and cut off a bartender's fingers. But they left that on because they thought that show was historically accurate. After guest starring on 2 episodes of NBC's The Virginian, Gulager arrived in Medicine Bow, Wyoming, for the start of the series' 3rd season in 1964 as Deputy Sheriff Emmett Riker. He appeared with James Drury and Doug McClure on more than 50 episodes before departing in 1968. In The Return of the Living Dead, 1985, Gulager portrayed the head of a medical supply warehouse who battles the undead. It was a job he was hesitant to accept, he said. I didn't especially want to do it, he recalled in 2017. I thought I was kind of above that. And it turned out, if I'm remembered at all, that's what I will be remembered for. I killed 18 zombies and then they came back and nuked me. Gulager appeared in another scary and noteworthy 1985 film, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Later, he played a shotgun-toting bartender in the horror film Feast, 2005, and its 2 straight-to-video sequels, then worked in Piranha 3DD, 2012. Those 4 films were directed by his son John. William Martin Gulager was born on November 16, 1928, in Holdenville, a woodsy town about 75 miles outside of Oklahoma City. His father, John, was a Broadway actor who became a county judge, and his mother, Hazel, worked for the Veterans Administration. His second cousin was Will Rogers. His dad's nickname for him was derived from the Clu birds, known in English as martins, that nested around the family home. After high school and service in the U.S. Marine Corps, Gulager attended Northeastern State College and Baylor University, where he received a scholarship to study in Paris with famed actor and mime Jean-Louis Barrault, L'Enfant du Paradis, before graduation in 1956. He worked in live television in New York on such programs as Omnibus, The United States Steel Hour and Goodyear Playhouse before moving to Los Angeles in 1959. He appeared on Wanted, Dead or Alive, Have Gun, Will Travel and Laramie and was hired for The Tall Man after MCHE Flew Wasserman saw him playing an Elvis-type character on CBS Playhouse 90. I was a cowboy from Oklahoma. I rode the fences, around cattle, in the winter, and in the summer, I was out in the field, watching out for rattlesnakes, Gulager said in a 2019 interview. And then later on, you move on and something comes over you, and you want to be an actor. Well, I could play a cowboy, and it was easy for me to ride a pony and wear a hat. Future Universal and Columbia Pictures boss Frank Price, who had produced and wrote for The Tall Man, hired Gulager for The Virginian. "I was broke when I stepped onto that show," he said in 2014. "I had to ask Frank Price, who ran it, for a job. He fired an actor off the set and hired me. Had I known he had fired someone, I would not have accepted the job." Fired someone,